Hey everyone, welcome back to episode number 28 of the Valken Debrief here in the beautiful Colorado Ranch. Myself, the Kaiju. Unfortunately, I am running solo because my partner Darth Valken is in Washington, D.C. trying to catch a flight back. He was out at Paintball Extravaganza for the past few days, so wasn't able to make it back in time because all the snow out here has delayed his flight. But welcome all. And don't forget to like and share just click that share button, comment in the chat below. We've got a lot of folks in here. Jesse, Luis, Andrew. Oh, Gino, what's up, boss man? Laser Viper, what up? Thank you guys for joining. Please hit the share button so we can get some more folks in here, because last week we got up to 61 viewers, and so I'm going to be giving away 2 prize packs today, or, announce who those are. So if we can bust another 50, I'll do it again. So be sure to mash that share button. But before we get into it, real quickly, for those that don't know, that we have the Valken Alliance program, which is our sponsored player and team program. It's a loyalty program, which you can find all the information at www.valkenalliance.com. And all you have to do is head on over to that website, click on the join page, and you can sign up as an individual, or there's even a team form that you can fill out if you want to be a sponsored team or just a sponsored player, because we realize everyone out there has a choice, and we're glad that you choose to support Valken. And if you ever have any questions, you can always shoot me an email about the program at bmanor@valken.com. So, on to our winners. We got 2 winners, so they get a choice between a ticket to Op Lion Claw's Op Cronenberg Rising, which is in a couple of weeks. At the end of March 30th and 31st. Down in Corona, California, or you get a choice of the new Valken Phantom backpack, which I have here. This one's mine, right next to me. You don't get this one. Not this one. Sorry. This one's mine. But you'll get your very own. But it just gives you an idea of the size and everything like that. But our 2 winners this week, Austin Collins and Dylan Frederick. Congratulations, guys. We'll be shooting you a message, or you can shoot us a message here at our Valken Airsoft Facebook page with your mailing address, phone number, and email, and let us know what prize you would like, and we'll get that all squared away for you. Again, congrats to Austin and Dylan. And this week's giveaway, we got a good one for you. You're going to get one. We're going to pick a winner, and if we get up to 50, we're going to pick 2 winners, so hit that share button. We're going to be giving away a Valken combat uniform, and it's your choice, either the Kilo or the Tango. And we've got in VCAM, Woodland, and Jungle Tiger Stripe. So hit that share button for your chance to win a Valken Tango uniform. So let's move into our events coming up this weekend, which have become a regular part of our show. And hopefully our intern Randy has all my note cards all squared away, because sometimes we get a little out of order, but we should be okay. So coming up this weekend, February 23rd and 25th in the southern region, Centurion Milsim is hosting Charlie Mike in Blakely, Georgia. Our good friend Bubba Moore is down there, and he's going to be rolling it hard at Charlie Mike. Wish we could be down there for that. And also on February 25th, also in the southern region, Extreme Airsoft and Iron Sight Airsoft are hosting Frosty versus Silva in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And for our future events, March 3rd, right here in our very own backyard in the Rockies region, JTAC Airsoft and Milsim is hosting episode 4 of their Homefront series at Kiowa. I didn't do my lip exercises before the show. Kiowa Creek Airsoft in Bennett, Colorado. Hey, Austin, never won a giveaway before. Thanks, Valken. Hey, Austin, congrats. Glad you won there, buddy. Also, future events, March 4th in the Appalachian region. M2 Bravo Tactical and Hobby is hosting Cold War in Buchanan, West Virginia. Also, March 9th through the 12th in Western Europe. This is the one myself and Darth Valken are looking forward to very much. It's the IWA Outdoor Classics 2018 trade show in Nuremberg, Germany. And that show is from a Friday to a Monday, and we're still going to do our show on Thursday, the 8th. Okay, and that's show number 30. So it's going to be a little bit different time. So you guys know it's going to be 6 p.m. local in Germany, but it's going to be noon back here on the East Coast and 9 a.m. on the West Coast on Thursday. So that's in 2 weeks, not next week, but in 2 weeks. But we'll make sure we remind everybody about the change for the showtime for that. March 10th in the Appalachian region, ACS Airsoft is hosting their 5-year anniversary event in Paducah, Kentucky. Always got to love those shops that are trugging along, supporting you players out there, and you guys supporting them, allowing them to stay in business. March 11th in the Midwest region, Mir Tactical is hosting Op Red Dawn 8. But you should know there was a change in the venue. It is no longer at CPX in Joliet, Illinois. It is now in Badlands Paintball Field in Crete, Illinois. Fortunately, CPX had a highway going right through the area, and they were hoping it would be done in time, but you know how road construction is. So Mir Tactical had to move Op Red Dawn to Badlands Paintball Field in Crete, Illinois. March 24th through 25th in the Southern region, Third Coast Airsoft is hosting Op Dragon Rogue 5 in Dawsonville, Georgia. Also in the South, Hard Strike Milsim and Battleborn Apparel are hosting Bloodlines Theatro Sagunas in Waxahachie, Texas. And Valken, we just hopped on board with Hard Strike Milsim. We're going to be providing the official battery charging station right there for those guys at all their events in 2018. So if you just happen to forget your charger, you'll be able to head on over to the check-in area, and they'll have it all set up for you to charge those batteries, just in case you forgot yours. Also, March 24th in the Midwest region, Cobra Airsoft Legion is hosting Op Black Hawk Down at Blast Camp Paintball and Airsoft in Hobart, Indiana. And let's see who all has joined us. Hey, we got Ville from Finland. Always great to see our overseas folks supporting us. We got Hound, call sign Hound down in Texas. Oh, Luis Pinedo, East Coast. Oh, always got to love our East Coast folks, and we really appreciate it. So if you're just joining us, episode 28 of the Valken Debrief, please hit that share button. We've got about halfway to go to hit those 50 live viewers. And, oh, Rich Hurry, I said it right, from Airsoft C3. So, also, moving on. So, if you're ever wondering how to get your event on the Valken Debrief with this beautiful little logo over to my left, your right of the screen, just send me an email, bmanor@valken.com, or just message us the details on our Valken Airsoft Facebook page. It is easy as that, and we'll get the word and help spread the word out there for you. March 25th in the Pacific region, Op Lion Claws Simulation Series is hosting the Tactical Challenge at the Fillmore Rail Yard in Fillmore, California, and we are fielding a Valken team to compete in that competition against all the other corporate sponsors, and not quite ready to tell you who it is yet. We're going to keep it a secret a little bit longer, but we've definitely got them signed, got them on board, and they are a force to reckon with. So we're looking forward to them taking the Tactical Challenge this year and representing Valken for the rest of 2018. Also on March 25th in the Appalachian region, East Coast Airsoft is hosting a big airsoft game. That's what it's called, Big Airsoft Game. Yep. At Robin Hood Paintball in Havre de Grace, Maryland. And March 30th through the 31st in the Pacific region, Lion Claws is hosting Operation Coronenberg Rising at the Ren Fair German Village in Corona, California. And we'll see if Dylan or Austin want to go to that. Totally free. And we got a big game coming up this year. Valken does it every year. It's sponsored by Valken. May 18th through the 20th in the Midwest region. We'll be sponsoring Conflicts 4 at Blast Camp in Hobart, Indiana. This is our big game for the year, working with Virgil and Cobra Airsoft Legion and Blast Camp staff to put on this event. They've got new bunkers, new buildings, and the new compound. It is a replica Haji compound, a Badabad compound, that it's going to be ready for Conflicts 4, and it's going to be great. There's going to be tanks, pyro, free camping, also free camping. Yes, Timothy, commander of the coalition. It's a semi-only event. Okay, there's a night game, but it's a semi-only event. There'll be role players and medics. And on Friday night, May 18th, there's going to be a player party sponsored by us. So we're going to do it upright, treat you folks to a good time during that. And for those of you that have never been to Conflicts at all, here's a quick video to show you what happened last year. We'll be right back.
This is House Gamers. You're watching the Valken Debrief.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Hey, we got about 31 viewers right now, so welcome to episode number 28 of the Valken Debrief here in the beautiful Colorado Ranch with myself, the Kaiju. Please like and hit that share button. Everyone that shares the video will get a chance to enter to win a Valken combat uniform, either a Tango or Kilo uniform. And I am ready and to introduce our special guests, gentlemen that I met about a year ago. We had crossed paths earlier than that on the Airsoft field, but just never really got to hang out much, and got to know him a little bit over the past year. And good dude, Eric Houseknecht. Welcome, Eric.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Awesome.
you loud and clear. And for those of you that have been living under a rock, Eric he is the editor at the Gun Gamers channel on YouTube. So be sure to head on over to Gun Gamers on YouTube and subscribe and help support Eric and his team and everything they do. So welcome. Oh, and if you want to ask a question for Eric, hey, throw it in the comments and I'll try to catch it. Sometimes there's so many that go by, but if you got a question for Eric regarding YouTube, regarding Gun Gamers, regarding whatever, throw it in the chat below and I'll shoot it up to him. So, Eric, how's the weather where you're at?
It's a little cold right now. It's kind of that border between freezing and not. So we had some nice wet snow for about an hour or two today, and now that's just starting to both settle and melt at the same time. So it is very wet.
And so where are you at right now?
I am in Rochester, New York, so the Western New York region.
Gotcha.
Not too far from Buffalo, if more people might know where that is.
Awesome. And so, yes, a lot of snow going on up there, just like we're having snow over here. But I think your snow is a lot more wet because we have a pretty dry climate here.
Yeah, we have the lake effect snow, so that gets pretty savage at times, and then it just gets really freezes real quick too, which is just great. Just goes from wet snow to ice overnight. That's never good. You ever gone outside and you're like, oh, it's just fluffy snow on my car, and you go to wipe the snow off, and it's just this thin layer of ice, and you're like, oh, this is gonna suck. No. Even better is when it's not the thin layer of ice, when it's the pile of fluffy-looking snow, but as soon as you go to touch it, you, break your hand against it. It's just like the iceberg that sank the Titanic.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, so tell us, when did you first start getting into Airsoft?
Well, when I first started getting into Airsoft that I would actually count was around, 2007. That was when I got my first kind of clone AEG, like an A&K M4S system. And I started out, shame on me, I did start out playing kind of backyard style games. They're at a friend's property, but it was not a legit field. But I actually got my first Airsoft gun. I think I was 13 years old. So that would have been 2005 maybe, something like that.
Oh, okay. Cool. Woodcock says, tell Eric that Woodcock wants to know if he would like to do something cool.
Yeah, the answer is always yes. When Woodcock walks up to you at an AMS game and asks you and your buddies who are sitting around, separated from your squad, want to go do something cool, the answer is 100% of the time yes.
Always yes. That is
always
awesome. That is awesome. So you started playing around 2007. How many big Airsoft games do you typically get to in a year, like national events, and what was your favorite event last year?
So games I get to, that number's been creeping up. It used to be that I would try to hit one major event a year back in 2012. And then that recently last year, I want to say I hit 4 or 5 big events really. But my favorite by far was Milsim West's The Caspian Breakout at the GTI. I got to go with a really great crew of the Gun Gamers guys. Got to meet up with Leah and Jet for a little bit there, and just great event, great people, great AO, and 10 out of 10 would do again.
Nice. What was probably your favorite moment from that event? Your epic moment?
Okay, those who were there know, but those who don't, it'll require some explaining. Firebase Judy. We actually built like a trash fort toward this northern gate that NATO was going to have to come through if they wanted to get into the city proper. And this gate couldn't have been wider than 20 feet. And we had our weapons squad, which was 7 people. So we had 2 PKMs, an RPK, a grenadier, and then riflemen just facing this gate in an entrenched position that we had just fortified with garbage we found laying around. And we had named Firebase Judy after our idol and mother of BB Wars, praise Judy. And we, trust me, Judy will cause more questions than answers. But, if you have any questions, leave them down in the chat. So then we got assaulted, surely enough, by maybe like half a platoon or a platoon worth of NATO. And it was awesome. We managed to hold them back long enough that the rest of our platoon was able to come reinforce. And even as the western gate, I believe it was, started falling, we managed to keep on holding long enough to retreat back. And it was just so sick. Favorite moment of BB Wars ever, maybe.
Nice.
There were NATO, because at Milsom West you have to fall down and play dead. There were NATO coming into the gate, tripping over their guys playing dead. It was like a literal pile of bodies.
Nice. Hashtag praise Judy.
Praise Judy.
There we go. So, which events hosts do you think you frequent the most?
Well, I actually go to a lot of games that are hosted by Tom over at Emsato, because he also hosts games at Ground Zero Airsoft in Connecticut, which we play at. So in terms of raw number, I'm probably evenly split between him and Milsom West.
Nice. Cool.
Then we go to Bad Blood every year, and then we try to host our own games when we can. So,
yeah, I'm curious because Evic does Bad Blood, right?
Yes, Evic does Bad Blood.
Have they? I need to check to see if they've announced anything for Bad Blood in 2018 yet. If they're going to do
they've got it. It's all the registration's up. Tickets are on sale.
Sweet.
If you're going, go black shirts.
All right, black shirts. I'll have to remember that. If you would have to label yourself as a geek, dork, or nerd, which would you choose and why?
I would say nerd, because I feel like the connotation of nerd is that you get very into specific subjects and do a great deal of research on them to learn everything you can about them. And whenever I get into a hobby, that's me.
Nice.
So definitely nerd.
So you're like 150% like all in, never half-ass,
Yeah, if I want to know about something, I'm going to research it from every angle, and I'm going to learn about everything about it that I can.
All right. And we actually have had a couple good questions, but I didn't want to jump ahead because, some people know a little bit about you. And so they, like I've had Laser Viper and a couple other folks.
Boy, what do they got?
Well, first they were asking what you were drinking, but that leads us into our next question of what is your favorite whiskey and knife maker?
Well, funny story. I am currently drinking my favorite whiskey. It is Belvini 14-year Caribbean cask. It is a 14-year single malt scotch that is then finished in spiced rum barrels. And it gets it this really nice, it's a great Speyside scotch with a little bit more of the rounded, spicy sweetness that you get from a rum. And if you are at all into scotch or rum, it's worth trying.
Nice. That is a very nerdy answer. Hashtag nerd approved.
Yeah, nerd approved whiskey. As for favorite knife maker, I guess that depends on if you're talking about production or custom. Because I collect.
You collect knives, right?
Yes, yeah, I'm a big knife collector. That's actually how I got my start on Instagram, and then on YouTube was actually I did a lot of knife videos. So my favorite custom knife maker, I only have one of his knives, but it was probably the best ordering experience I ever had. And the knife I have of his is one that I got before he blew up and got big. So now his prices are like 3 times as much because you can't get on his books more than less than 3 years out.
Oh, wow.
Glenn Arehoven is a Norwegian knife maker, and he makes some absolutely gorgeous pieces. He has some really cool new ergonomic features and locking mechanisms that he experiments with, and he works with a lot of really high-end, rare materials. The knife he made me is a little simpler than what he makes these days, but for the sentimental value of the fact I got it, it was his first knife he had sold to the public. And nice. I thought that was super cool. Favorite production maker, something more people in this chat are likely to be able to get their hands on, is probably Zero Tolerance. This is a ZTO 630 designed by Ernest Emerson and manufactured by Kai USA under the Zero Tolerance brand. Those are fantastic, and Spyderco probably ties.
Nice. That's awesome. For those of you that are joining us, episode 28 of the Valken Debrief, we are live here with Eric E.
They're probably very confused hearing whiskey and knife talk.
I know, right? But, I mean, hey, everything, BB wars, firearms, whiskey, knives, 2A, we're all hobbyists, right? We're all into something. Yeah. So the highest, we got to 44 viewers. Just keep hitting that share button. It's time for you to share. Let's get up to 50 viewers. And we'll give away 2 prizes this week. And if you're wondering why my co-host Darth Valken is not here, and he's actually in the chat, so please, hashtag free Josh in the chat. He's
in the chat, not in the stream. So sad.
I know.
So close yet so far.
He is stuck in delayed weather from Washington, D.C., coming back here to snowy and beautiful Colorado. So I hope he makes it back safe. But yes, any hashtag free Josh innuendos will be most welcome in today's chat. Iron Man says CRKT blades for him. He likes
CRKT is really, really good for the money.
Yep.
They don't go as high end with their materials, but their fit and finish and their construction is really spot on. And they also do collaborate with a lot of custom makers who I have a lot of respect for, like Bob Terzola and Brian Ty. So they have some really cool stuff. They just don't usually go as stupid with like the blade steels and the handle materials. But I mean, if CRKT is in your budget and they have a design you like, absolutely check them out.
Yeah, I actually picked up one on sale at a local, Woodcock remembers this story, at a local store in his hometown of McAllister. And just a small little folder that had one of their nylon fiber handles, kind of. When it gets wet, it's not slippery.
It's probably G10.
Yes. And it was so sharp that I was actually, my wife and I were driving somewhere, and she was opening up a new Bluetooth headset, and it had all this tape and everything. And
I know where this is going.
And she's like, you got a knife on you? I know you always have a knife. I'm like, yeah, here. And handed it to her clothes, and she opened it, and she slit her thumb so good she didn't even feel it. And she was like,
yep. We've all done that.
And, and it's like, we couldn't, I couldn't reach back and grab my first aid kit, fast enough. So I reached down, grabbed her purse because, she's always got that ladies kit. Pulled out, an always pad. It wasn't that time of the month, but, she always has extra.
Still absorbent.
Yep. Threw that bad boy on there until we got to the next rest stop. So, kids, be careful with knives.
Yes, be careful.
Be careful. They're cool to collect and cool to have with you, but be very, very,
very useful careful. Tools, but they require appropriate respect.
Yep. William says he likes Emerson knives.
Emerson knives are, I love Emerson's designs, but they're so 50-50 with their quality control because it feels like half the time I pick one up, it feels like it was assembled by a 10-year-old. But at the same time, a lot of people are so into the design because Ernest Emerson is an incredibly talented, incredibly accomplished designer. I mean, he invented the wave, which every company under the sun has tried to rip off under one way or another. But I'll tell you what, if you like Emerson knives and you don't mind the fit and finish, then that means you're less of like fit and finish nerd than me, which is probably a good thing.
It's a lot easier on your wallet, though.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, Emerson knives, man, they are fantastically designed. I just wish they had a little better fit and finish. If you don't mind the fit and finish and you love Emerson, then that's awesome because they're great knives.
Oh, yeah. Michael, he loves Kershaw and Spyderco, and Timothy agrees also Kershaw as well.
Kershaw, well, because Kershaw is actually the parent company of Zero Tolerance.
Oh,
so
okay.
in terms of actual fit and finish and construction, Kershaw is extremely similar to Zero Tolerance in level of quality. Even their Chinese-made stuff, because they actually took their employees from their Chinese factory and trained them with their American counterparts, and then they do the quality control stateside here as well. So you still get an incredible knife for the money from anything Kershaw produces.
Oh, nice. The Laser Viper, he's like, dang, some real knife guys in here. Mine is Amazon. It came from Amazon.
Listen, Laser Viper, next time we get a chance to party together and meet up, I'll show you the good stuff. If you ever come up to Western New York, I'll bring you into the vault. I'll show you all the customs, and I'll get you nerding out in no time.
Cole, the Airsoft Bandit in northern Texas, he says his half-faced blades Crow Scout is his favorite. And
I've heard a lot of good things about those guys, but I've never quite picked one up because they usually make fixed blades. And I don't carry fixed blades. It's just not convenient for me for my day job and my needs, but I've heard that they are absolutely phenomenal.
Nice. So, moving on, how did Gun Gamers first start?
Gun Gamers is a weird origin. Everything to do with us is weird, but this is also weird. But Gun Gamers got its start because I was originally doing, I bet no one in the chat remembers this. If you do, you're an OG, bonus points. But I was originally doing the E-House and Redbeard Airsoft show with my buddy Ian. And when he was actually looking to move away for a job possibly, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, well, I don't want to do a channel by myself because I can't motivate myself to do a channel by myself, and it's no fun. I like doing it with my friends. So how am I going to keep on making YouTube content and maybe, keep it as a group thing, something that Ian could do even when he was out of town? So then we started Gun Gamers, and we brought my buddy Kyle on board. Kyle is actually the owner of Hunters Creek Airsoft, which is a local field.
Yep.
And he's the founder of what was my Airsoft team, and I mean still is the Airsoft team, but different name at this point, Lulsoft. And so us not taking ourselves too seriously was from the very start. And we brought him on board, and we started doing a rotation where we would do 2 articles a week, 1 video a week. And we kept that up for a little while, with varying degrees of consistency, as we still do. And then eventually we met up with some of the other guys who we ended up recruiting, Garrett, Nando, Joe, then Matt, and all these other guys. And now it's this just snowball of ridiculousness that we have like 25 really active members of the team playing, and probably a dozen people, maybe more, active, rotating in the content or on camera, not as frequently as each other to varying degrees, but still appearing and offering their perspective on camera, which I think is absolutely awesome.
Nice. Now, I definitely can relate, you thinking about the future, and it does suck, hosting a channel by yourself. I do miss Darth Valken, #FreeJosh. Because there is a very good energy when you actually have someone else in front of the camera with you, whether it's one other person or 6 other people. The synergy, I think, is really, really great, as opposed to just being like the Visine, red eyes, monotonous, dry guy.
Well, and the other thing too is just even having people to bounce ideas off of, because even when we'll go for spans of like weeks or months where we don't have anyone else appearing on camera with me, which is not very frequently at this point because now I do the Speed Sim series with Amy almost every week.
Yep.
But just because we have a group chat, just having the people to bounce ideas off of and being able to have the discussions that end up giving rise to the ideas that show up in your videos is incredible. And then when we're doing like comedy and creative productions, like our Tactical Wizard series, if anyone in the chat likes that, because I can send all my drafts of the script to the chat and get their ideas of, does this work? Is this necessary? Does this go too far? There's been a couple of jokes like that. And then we just have that collaborative process, which I find incredibly helpful in any venture, but especially anything creative.
Oh, nice. More Tactical Wizard. Laser.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. The Tactical Wizard has gone nowhere. He is merely resting, and he will return fully energized for a glorious return.
Yeah, and I really like the, that new speed sim that you guys have been doing. I've always been a straight electrical mil sim guy, but over the past year, I've been really embracing that faster paced, competitive, 5 versus 5, style. Whether you call it Speed QB, Speed Sim, Mill Speed, Speed Soft.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I actually, initially, my first exposure to it was through Amy, who is, now at this point a really good friend of mine. So maybe I'm a little biased that I had a very positive first impression. But I actually started incorporating elements of that into my play style as early as like before Gun Gamers started, just because we've been hanging out with Amy. And
nice.
Yeah, and then we started really playing together more and doing our videos together, and then we got into doing the Speed Sim series because we always did collaborations anyway, because we found that we enjoyed both the comparisons and the contrasts with our styles and how different situations will call for different approaches. And it's something that I think each style can learn from, because you have it where you go to your hardcore milsim game, but then it feels like no one wants to clear rooms because no one's aggressive. And then you go to an open play where people are being very aggressive, but they don't always know, say, the best weapons manipulation to really make the most efficient shots, or they don't always know the correct route, or they don't always communicate that well. But then you get in that middle and you blend those two styles and you really focus on, because Airsoft is a game, and raw military strategy doesn't always apply, but at the same time, raw gaming strategy doesn't always work either. And you start getting into that blend where, to quote Saren from Mass Effect, to get really nerdy, the strengths of both, the weaknesses of neither.
Nice. Going deep. Nice.
Going deep with my nerd references.
Oh, I like it. Hey, if you guys and gals out there are just joining us, episode 28, we're about, oh my gosh, we're two away. Mash that share button so we can give away 2 prizes. We're just 2 away, got up to 48. Please get it up and over there. We are talking. Oh, look. Oh, Audra's on. Happy birthday, Audra. We see you out there. We are live here in the beautiful Colorado Ranch on the Valken Debrief with Eric Houseknecht from Gun Gamers YouTube channel. So if you got a question for Eric, please throw it down in the comments below. Oh, hey, Darth Valken says, yes, Command Shepard. So
yeah. Shepard.
So yes, you've definitely hit the nerdies with Josh. He's like, dude, seriously, you got Gun Gamers on the show when I'm not there? And I'm like, yes, I did. And he's like, you dirty rat. So
that's unfortunate.
I know, because if he was here, I guarantee the nerd talk. I'm a nerd, myself, but I guarantee, he can step it up big time. So, boom! Whoa, we hit 50 viewers. Nice! So we're going to give away 2 combat uniforms today. Awesome job, folks. Thank you very much. So, getting back, Eric, what is important to you regarding Gun Gamers?
What is important to me regarding gun gamers? Well, if beer isn't a valid answer, then I think the next most important thing to me would probably just be, because we run this channel for fun. It's 100% Gun Gamers is about my team and I having a good time, making the content we want to make, and just trying to put forth. And I'm trying to think of the right way to put this, because we're always very critical in our reviews and in our discussion. We'll always tell it like it is when we decide to talk about a subject. So that's very important to me, is that our fierce kind of independence, where we'll say and do what we want to do because it's fun for us and because we feel like doing it. I think that's probably what's the most important to me.
Nice. It's always good. I mean, because there's always that struggle with airsofters, hashtag want to be relevant, and actually just put out good content, things that engage people, that people find interesting. And I think that when you and the rest of your folks at Gun Gamers are just straight up, no BS, this is what we think, take it or leave it. We're going to try to be as informative as possible, but we're not going to sugarcoat it and make things sound like the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, but we're also not going to intentionally go out of our way and totally crap on something. We try to keep a very balanced perspective. Sometimes that does mean saying that something is really bad, but it's always about trying to analyze the situation from every angle and figure out what needs to be said and how it needs to be said for what we think is ultimately the best outcome for not just the channel, but for the people watching.
Oh, and absolutely. And kind of, segueing into that, if, a player comes up to you and they're like on the field, like, oh my gosh, you're E-House from Gun Gamers, it's like, here's a perfect example. Woodcock comes up to you, is like, dude, I want to start a YouTube channel. How can me and Stone start a YouTube channel? What advice would you give them?
You see, Woodcock is actually a perfect example, because I've answered this question before, not for Woodcock, but for other people in, I don't mean to dehumanize it in the way I'm going to say this, but in a similar situation. So what I would say when you're starting a YouTube channel is understand what it is you're trying to do and understand what it is you want to make. Don't make what you think everyone wants to see, because then you just end up trying to be like someone else. And taking inspiration from other people is absolutely a valid approach. We take a lot of inspiration from Airsoftology, Robo Murray, In-Range TV, Forgotten Weapons. We take a lot of inspiration from those guys, but we try to present things in our own way and focus on our own thing. And, for Woodcock, whatever you're trying to do needs to somehow, I don't want to say you have to have a gimmick, but you need to have an angle that makes people want to watch you. And I fielded this question in the past, is if you say are a father-son team, you are in such a perfect position, in my personal opinion and based on what I've seen, to really push the unique angle of, hey, we're a father-son team. We can talk about subjects that parents want to know about. We can talk about subjects that the kids with their parents want to know about. We can talk about how you can play on the field in a way that's going to benefit your relationship. You can talk about all this other stuff, and it doesn't have to be the only thing. I'm not saying that you have to focus on that, because then it just becomes like you're phoning it in anyway by just doing this one thing. But that can be a unique angle, and whatever you're doing, it needs to be some kind of unique angle. And there is such an underserved market, in my opinion, for parents.
Yes.
For airsoft content that caters to parents. So if we were using the specific example of Woodcock, I would say basically mirror what you've done with your Instagram and make it a very family-oriented type of thing, because I think that's an underserved market.
That is some really great advice, because I know you when you started the E-House and Redbeard Show, or moved over to Gun Gamers, even Josh and I, those first couple episodes, you're trying to feel out, what works, what doesn't, what, engages people. and we're just feeling it out. But like you said, if you have a plan, and I think like Woodcock and Stone, perfect example, there are not very many father-son. I can't think of another. Well, there's only one other father-son duo that I know of that's on tap Airsoft in Florida. But as far
then
as
there's beginners Airsoft player, those guys too.
Yes. But I think
and then we have Chris and Mikey on our team. They don't come on camera super frequently, but we do have a father-son duo on our team as well that we try to get every now and then.
Oh, cool. Yeah, but like you said, there's nothing out there that caters to parents, and
yeah.
You always every time I see one of Woodcock's posts, you see somebody comment, "Yeah, teach them young," and
yep,
and it's absolutely right, because I think because we have the millennial generation right now, but I think there is a big gap in legacy,
yes.
between parents to son or daughter. We won't get all religion, sex, politics kind in here, but it is very important that we're in a sport where, hey, it's always not only teaching our children how to be honorable sports, but teaching younger players as us, the OGs. And yes, I would totally throw you in as an OG, Eric.
I got some guys who make me feel like my 11 years is nothing.
Wow, Maria from Bora Bora is on. Wow, thanks for joining us, Maria. We appreciate it. Timothy Morrison. He has a father, and he has a father-son and father-daughter on his team. Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. So, do you have any goals for Gun Gamers, whether it's the team or the channel, moving into 2018?
I would say in terms of goals, all of our goals just are stuff we want to do. One of our big goals is go to Bad Blood and spread the good word of Judy. So that will be hilarious.
Judy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hashtag praise Judy. Black Shirts 2018. So we're gonna go and have a crazy time doing that. That's one of our big goals. I plan on hitting at least 1 or 2 Milsom West games this year, and I know that we are hoping to get a really big militia platoon out to Caspian if they have it again this year, which we think they're going to. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I really want to try out the Blue Fox Tracker app from Desert Fox Events. I'm going to go do that. But for the channel, we want to do more Tactical Wizard videos. I know that a few people are very, very into getting those. We really want to do more Tactical Wizard. Just it's about getting the right ideas and getting him summoned. But other than that, we have an AK mid-cap test that we're going to do because we did the M4 mid-cap test. And now I'm going to need a lot more of this to make it through the AK mid-cap test. We're going to test flat hop versus R hop, see which one of those is more effective. We do a BB weight test, just of varying BB weights with various things, and a barrel test. So we have a lot coming up, and it's going to be a pretty packed year. So hopefully it'll be a lot of fun.
Ville says you should come and play in Europe sometime.
I would love to go and play in Europe, especially something like Border War. It's just a matter of getting the time off and getting the money to go do it.
Yes.
Because when I think about how much whiskey I'll have to miss out on in order to fund a trip to Europe, I look at my liquor cabinet and I think, I can't do that to you, baby.
Yes. My April schedule is really packed. First weekend, heading up to Dunmore, Pennsylvania for a Lion Claws event, Red Storm East. Literally the day after that ends, I get on a plane to the Czech Republic to go attend Border War.
I hate you.
I'm sorry. It is what it is. And then I get back on the 13th. I'm home for 7 days and then drive down to Fort Hood, Texas for Operation Bulldog, another Lion Claws event. So I'm literally only home 10 calendar days out of April, but it's going to be amazing. Yeah. It's getting out there, seeing my Milsim family again. I mean, you know how it is, hooking up with. It's more about you and I were talking about this the other day. It's more about the camaraderie and the friendship of your extended family when you go to the events. It's just pew-pewing and shooting somebody in the face. That's just icing, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you want to share a drink with your friends. You want to hang out at the campfire, go out to dinner. It's because, it's regionals and you don't get to see some of these folks some of the time.
Yeah, no, getting to go to various Milsim games, just see people that you don't see that often is awesome. Some of the best moments are when you're on hour 36 of Caspian and you're all huddled around, cold, smoking cigars, trying to stay awake, and you're just talking about all the stuff you're doing at home because you haven't seen these guys since last year.
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder. It's like, when soldiers back in World War II or World War I, when they're sitting in a patrol base and, and they break out and they talked about that stuff too. You're reliving history almost in your own
to an extent. We're not exactly in the field for the same amount of time, and we're there by choice, and we can go home at a point, and nothing happens if we get shot. But I think I get what you're getting at.
Yeah. Yep. And so, our budget timer has just about ran out. Eric, we don't have that big budget that the Valken core paintball crew have, and so we went a little bit over last week, and so we have to, cuts this one a little bit short. But man, the discussion has been great. Everyone had some really great stuff to say. The knife game was definitely on point.
You want to get me to nerd out about anything other than airsoft? It's knives.
But hey, you should do an episode on knives.
I might if I think there's demand for it.
Oh yes, for sure, absolutely, for sure. So, thank you for joining us, Eric. It was a pleasure. I hope to see you out at an event sometime soon when there's no snow. And
don't bank on that anytime soon.
I know, right? And those of you who are watching, if you're curious about the Valken Alliance, you see it here. It's our new player program. This show has been brought to you by the Valken Alliance. Just head on over to www.valkenalliance.com to see all the details about our player and team loyalty program. You can sign up right there as an individual or as a team. It comes straight to me. Also, if you got any questions, you can send it to me at bmanor@valken.com. Thanks for joining us here on the Valken Debrief episode 28 with myself, the Kaiju, and Eric Houseknecht from Gun Gamers on YouTube. And we will see everybody next week.
Peace.